submission. It's legal. Goes in the cover. The count. We have a new champ. Oh, and a nice.
Hey, it's a Toxic Ring Scandal featuring TBK, the Turnbuckle King. Got another good one for you guys tonight. Let's turn up the music on this one. Oh man, this is a topic that needs to be discussed. We've seen this happen in the wrestling industry, especially in the women's division, mainly that I'm talking about. And we are going to talk about why Amanda and Macey rather strip, take off the clothes and shake whatever they got that their mama gave them and show the skin, then rather get in the wrestling ring. Let's talk about it. We are going to talk about a good one. This is so I've been thinking about talking about for quite some time. I made a video on this a while back, but we are going to talk about mainly Mandy Rose and Lacey Evans. You go by their real names, Amanda. Her real name is Amanda, and Lacey real name is Macey. So we're gonna talk about both of them. We'll talk about how they were former wrestlers. They both were in WWE, and now they're on Fantime. So this is definitely a locker room exclusive. And of course, as always, gotta air the dirty laundry, literally. Let's see who came to the locker room before we begin. Kay Foster said they're hot, no doubt about it. Carl Myers said we back at it. Big and 4 TV said we back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about each particular wrestler, one by one, Mandy and Lacey. And then we're going to talk about some interviews of these two since then. So with that further ado, we're going to talk about Mandy Rose first. Let's talk about her actually. And let's get into it, guys. And you know, we got to air that dirty laundry. So let's get into it. And please, after I talk about it, you know, we'll do the interviews. And mods, if you're out there, block those trolls that's going to come in here. Because we know the simps, tricks, and trolls will be in here. And don't get alarmed by what I'm going to say. Because I'm not holding back. No holds barred. That's a fair warning. And if you come with that nonsense, I gotta give you a heads up on this one. If my boss don't get you, you will be ordered this way.
Bye-bye, bitch.
So you've been warned. So let's get into it. Now let's talk about Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose, former NXT Women's Champion. We know that Mandy Rose was a former professional wrestler. Now we know also that she was the women's NXT champion. We know she held onto the championship for, I want to say, 313 days, if I got that correctly. And that was the last good thing she did before she was terminated at her WWE contract. We know originally that she was in a stable. We know that as well. We know that she had a very good run on the NXT brand. We know she won the championship during her doing Halloween Havoc back in 2021, I want to say. Yeah, 2021, I'll say, if I got that correctly. I know that, but I will give it to Mandy Rose. I will give it to her. She has came a long way because she was not that good in her last. At the NXT run, she was very solid. She was very polished. She got much better than what she was. If you guys remember, she was on Tough Enough. We know that she was in WWE. I believe it was, I want to say, a good 7 years, 2015 to 2022. So I give her credit. So she did her thing. She definitely did her thing during that run. So she started on Tough Enough, and later on got to WWE, had her NXT run, was the champ, did everything, and now she was terminated. We all know that why she was terminated too. know that she was terminated due to her refusal to not stop her Fantime account. WWE had gave her a warning, allegedly, but they said that Mandy Rose did not want to stop doing what she was doing, and they said it was a breach of contract. But because she would not let the Fantime content go, that's when she was released, and she was gone from 2022. So she has not done any wrestling since then. I know at one point, I will talk about it, she did talk about making $55,000 off one fan. We'll get more into that. But like I said, she was with the stable. If I got it right, she initially came in NXT. She was in the stable alongside Sonya Deville and Paige before Paige retired. We also know that later on that she did go on to do, she did go on to have it was just Fire and Desire with her and Sonya Deville. It was originally called, I believe, originally called the stable. It was called something, I can't forget the name of that stable, with Paige running it before she retired and eventually leave. I'm trying to remember the name right now. I cannot think of the name. It was her, Paige, and another one. But I know she did do just her and Sonya Deville with tag team for the most part. It started off with Paige being the leader. Then later on, she had her own run with the NXT title with Toxic Attraction, which is Gigi Dolan and JC Jane. Other than that, she was released in 2022. And now she does Fantime. She also has a podcast, her own podcast, which I didn't know about at first. She has a podcast where her husband or fiance, I think they say it's her husband. He's a former football player. He's in WWE at one point. His name is, if I'm not, let me get his name right. His name is Tito Sabatelli, if I said his name right. They have a podcast. It's called Power Alphas. Not a popular podcast. And also, she does do Fantime. So she has a Fantime account. That's why she was released from WWE. So Mandy has been doing well for herself. Like I said, she made the $55,000 off one fan. She has the rest of her Fantime account subscriptions. She has the podcast with Tito. And I'm pretty sure she does other stuff too. I know she works. I think her family has a deli, a family business. She works for them as well. So I know the fans that do deal with her Fantime. I know they feel like Daniel Bryan right now, having a yes moment.
Yes! 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 Yes!
So yeah, that is Mandy Rose. But that's what she's been doing since her end of her WWE run. And like I said, she's been doing it ever since then. I don't think she's gonna ever get back into doing wrestling. So like I said, we'll do an interview with her. The interviews I'll pull up of her first, then Lacey Evans. And speaking of Lacey Evans, that's the next person I will talk about. Let's see what you guys got to say in the locker room. Kay Fox kept saying she's hot. Yeah, yep. I know a lot of people like Mandy Rose, but we'll get into Lacey Evans next. We know that Lacey Evans, she was also with WWE before she got released. And we'll talk about her now. This is Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans, similar to Mandy Rose, she was there about 7-8 years before I think her contract was just up. Now Lacey was a little bit different. She was not terminated out of her contract. She just did not return to WWE. They didn't renew her contract or anything for that matter. So I think that was a whole different story with Lacey. Lacey, I know she has the Marine background or Army background. I'm sorry, correct me if I'm wrong, Army background. Now, I know with her Army background, she did that before she even wrestled, but I know she's mostly known for doing the Southern Belle character. So I know that much. She does the Southern Belle character. Now, unlike Mandy Rose, Lacey Evans never held any professional titles. I know she was in WWE from 2016 to 2023, approximately 7 years. I know also with Lacey Evans, Lacey also has a Fantime account. But I know during her WWE run, I know she, like I said, she was a United States Marine Corps, not Army. Let me get that right. She did United States Marine Corps. She did WWE. She was in NXT. She did a little bit of an independent circuit for a year. Also with Mandy Rose. Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans, correct me if I'm wrong. Lacey Evans, the height of her peak was when she feuded with Becky Lynch over the then title, which was the Raw Women's Championship and SmackDown Women's Championship. She held on when this was Becky two belts era, but she held on to both belts. Also with Lacey Evans, she was in a tag team kind of feud. It was her and Baron Corbin versus Seth and Becky, and that was in 2019. That was at Stomping Grounds. They had it. I think it was a Stomping Grounds feud with Becky first. Then I know Extreme Rules won the tag team title for title. So I think that was like the height of her character. And then next thing I know, later on in they kept changing her character. I know she couldn't get into the Southern Belle character, didn't work. Then they went off her real life persona of the United States Marine Corps. That didn't work out. They even tried to get Sergeant Slaughter in to help her character, but Sergeant Slaughter said no. He didn't want no involvement with Lacey Evans. He said he felt like she wasn't into the character. And next thing I know, she did her last match was a dark match on the July 7th, 2023, almost a year ago. And she left WWE last August 2023. And I know she, like I said, never came back. And now she's doing similar to Mandy Rose. She is doing Fantime. I know she has a husband. She had a husband she's been married to since, I want to say, 2010 to Alfonso Estrella Caldic. She has 2 children, a daughter and a son, as you can see. I know she's doing, like I said, right now she's similar to Mandy Rose. She does her Fantime account. Now, I don't know if a fan spent $55,000 on her, but they did. More power to her. But I know she's been doing that for quite some time. And the thing about it is she had an interview as well, which I will talk about. We'll talk about Mandy first, then Lacey. And she does not have a podcast, unlike Mandy Rose. But I know she's been doing, like I said, Fantime for, I think she did it right after Mandy Rose was released. Mandy Rose pretty much set the blueprint with the whole you could do a Fantime after you're released from WWE. That's what seemed like it's going with her. But that's what she's doing, and that's all for that. But she stated in an interview she had no desire to do wrestling. She never had a desire to do so. She was not into it. She said that in interviews. I would talk about that later. But it's just crazy that both of these women, they even did an Instagram photo shoot together, as you can see, Lacey and Mandy. So this is a photo shoot for Instagram that they did a while back. And it just shows that these women would rather do this than be in a wrestling ring and wrestle. So that's their whole agenda. And when I see them doing this, it proves to me right then and there on the spot, they really want wrestling. They want trying to get into wrestling. And that right there is undisputed at the highest degree. No doubt about it.
And that is undisputed.
So that shows that that's what they were in. They're more into thirst trapping. There's no way you get released or your contract is up and you don't try to go any organization. Look, we got WWE, that they were in. Then you have AEW, you have the TNA, you have NWA, you have the independent circuit. You have plenty of options. You don't have to do this thirst trapping or go to Hollywood. So like I said, that's the whole thing of this title, of this whole live stream tonight. They rather thirst trap than wrestle. And it shows that, especially for Mandy Rose. They rather thirst trap than wrestle. And keep an eye out on this. This is going to be the new blueprint for the female wrestlers. When their career does not jump off the way it's planned initially, if they get released or if their contract expires, whatever comes first, they are going to resort to doing fan time. They are going to resort to doing OnlyFans or have brand army on their own private subscription. But I wanted to talk about these two in particular because they've been doing it longer than anybody. Now I know Lana or CJ Perry does it. I know Dana Brooke was doing it before she went to TNA, but they were still somewhat involved in the wrestling industry. These two particularly never went to any other wrestling organization after their release or contract was up, and they went straight to doing thirst trapping. I mean, look at the pictures of both of them. They rather thirst trap. I mean, look at Lacey. Lacey's taking thirst trap. Look at all this. Then you got Mandy here. This is thirst trap at its finest, guys. It's crazy. And what's crazy about it than that, both of these women have husbands. They're both married. And with Lacey's even worse, you're a mother on top of that. So that's just sad right there. This sets a bad example for her children. Her children one day are going to come across seeing her online, whether you got a lock on it, a subscription, whatever the case may be. The internet's very crafty. Some people are very tech savvy. They can find loopholes to get away around to your content. And this is gonna they're gonna look at you a certain way, especially if she has a daughter. What she wants to do is when she gets older, she said, "Oh no, you can't do it." Like, "Hey mom, you did it." Say no, you can say about that. All I gotta say with the thirst trapping that they're doing and all the way they run around here taking all these photos like it's nothing. All I gotta say is this is just not something that just popped up. All I gotta say at the end of the day, you knew what you were doing from the get-go.
I didn't know that. You know what you did. I know what you're talking about. I swear and swear. You know what you're a legend, man.
So this is planned out. Let's see what you guys got to say in the locker room. Figure 4 TV said they've been planning this out. No doubt about it. It's been planned out from the get-go. Definitely been planned out. These women planning this out. Keep the pictures coming. Yeah. Hit that like button. That's right. Hit the like button. This is locker room exclusive. I'm talking with no one else is going to talk about. People are afraid to talk about. Won't even utter the words that I'm uttering out of my mouth right now. But yeah, don't get me wrong. These women do look good. Both of them. I'm not taking that away. I'm saying for the rest of the business, for these women to be wives and Lacey be a mother, this is setting a bad example. Setting a bad example. And I know people are going to get angry at me. I know these simp dudes and these beta males and these trick dudes are going to get mad at me for talking about their favorite wrestlers. But you know what? I'm still going to call it out. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. You want to cry about it, go ahead and cry.
Go cry me a river.
So go ahead and cry me a river. I don't care. That's what I'm going to do. So like I said, we don't talk about interviews. Well, matter of fact, we'll talk about Mandy first. And it's crazy because Mandy even talked about this on her podcast that she has with her husband or fiance. So we don't talk about that right now. And she'll talk about how the fan spent $55,000. Yes, correct. Yes, I'm correct. You did not hear this wrong. Yes, $55,000. 55, comma Not $5, not 5,500, 55,000. So we're gonna talk about what this fan did. This old tricking fan spent on her, and she's gonna talk about that on her podcast. You know, we'll see what she has to say. So, likes and subscribe as you come to the locker room. Like I said, hit that like button. Don't play games with me. All right, let me play that, and I'll let you, and then I'll react to this. And this is from Power Alpha's her podcast. So, reaction to this, fair usage.
Wildest thing a fan has asked you to do or like you've done for a fan?
I've had one person, I won't say any names, one person, and this was on Fantime, spend $55,000 on me.
50
What?
1,000? 55,000. So in my head, I'm
whatever his name is, thank you.
So I'm like, wow, what does he do for a living that he's able to spend this kind of money on one
for him.
person?
$55,000.
$55,000. And it wasn't in like even, it was less than, I mean, it was definitely over a little time period, but it was, yeah.
Wow.
Wild. So thank you.
Wild.
Yes, guys, $55,000. Unbelievable, right? Crazy, right? I mean, after hearing that, all I gotta say is one thing. I just can't believe it.
Tell me you did not just say that.
$55,000. And if you heard here, this is how you know she got a trick simp of a fiance. If you hear that, this is not cool. And I don't, like I said, I don't care what people think. I'm just calling it how I see it. All due respect to me. But look how she talked about
I've had one person, I won't say any names, one person, and this was on Fantime, spend $55,000 on me.
50
What?
1,000? 55,000. So in my head, I'm
whatever his name is, thank you.
Whatever her name's, thank you. How can you be happy somebody wants to spend it on your wife, man? Why would you let your wife go out there flaunt her body like that? Tito. Come on, man. That's not cool, bro. That's not cool, man. You don't do that. No, man. You don't have a wife like that. Or fiance, whatever it is. You don't marry a woman like that. So that's bad on his end. I just want to demonstrate that. That's no good. But yeah, this is what she did. She had a fan spend $55,000 on her. And I know and I heard at one point she made over $500,000 within the year. The same year she was released from WWE. So that's just crazy. My question to you guys, would you spend $55,000 on your favorite female wrestler? You know, that's the question. You guys in live chat and playback, let me know, would you do that? Some say yes, some say a lot with sense would say no. You know. Let's see what you guys got to say in the locker room thus far. Let's see. Let's see what you guys got to say about this situation here. Q Oregon said, damn, Lacey Evans stripping now. Yep. Figure 4 TV said, Liv Morgan's next. Oh, man. That's crazy. 55K, yeah. Yikes, did he get to tap it? Nope, I don't think so. When he did try to ask, I bet you Figure 4 TV, when he did try to get the tap, he got hit with one of these.
No, brother, it doesn't work for me right now.
Nope, it doesn't work for her. She ain't gonna do that. That doesn't work for her. Let's see what else you guys have to say. Yes, K falls to lots of money. $55,000. Some people don't even make that within a year. And they got that off, you know what I'm saying, spend it on one subscription. What was that? Live stream on a subscription, photo. Just one thing, 55, and even do nothing for it. Yeet. Yep. Karl Miles said lots of money just of what to text or look at pic. Yeah, these wrestling fans, they're so passionate, but they're really simpish and trickish. So they would do stuff like that. Yeah, that's too much. Pump and dump wrestling women are recreational use only. Oh man, you got a point there, Figure 4 TV. And since you do got a point, you get an undisputed point.
And that is undisputed.
That's the question. Will you guys even do that? Karl Myers said, hell no. Yep. Well, I know my answer is very simple.
No, brother, doesn't work for me right now.
No, it doesn't work for me. Not right now, not ever. No, that doesn't work for me. I'm not spending $55,000. You didn't do nothing with this woman. And then Mandy Rose can tell she's sitting there laughing at because she know he a goofy. She know that's what he's doing. Spending that kind of money, man, you lost your mind, man. Why would you do something like that? Why would you spend your life earnings? I mean, the average person works for that money, and you put that money. Maybe that person had trust fund, maybe it was passive income, but you put that hard-earned money, give it to you or pass down to you on Mandy Rose. And Figure 4 TV said it best right there. Let's pull that coming up again. Recreational use only. That's it. That's all you need to do at this given point. That's all you need to do. Nothing more, nothing less. But yeah, guys, this is it. And like I said, this is a trend. This is a trend, man. $55,000. That's unbelievable, man. You couldn't pay me to do that. No way. That's what they're doing. 55. I mean, like I said, Mandy got it going on. She do look good. I ain't gonna hold you guys to that. Both of them do. You know, let's see what's came in. Oh, hold the phone. We got a super chat in the building. Super chat is Figure 4 TV for $4.99. Said, I support you before I support a worker. Open mic night TBK. No doubt about it. And this is a no mic night, open mic night. If you guys ain't know, Miss Mandy Rose.
Who the hell told you tonight was open mic night, bitch?
Thank you. I appreciate that, Figure 4 TV. That's what she's doing. She is thirst trapping Mandy Rose and Lacey Evans. K Fault says she hot. I think I'm in love. Oh man. The Bell 5000 salute to you. He said, God damn. LOL. Yeah. Like I said, it's gonna be the new blueprint for the female wrestlers who don't make it in the wrestling business. You will see more of this. You'll see more of that. You'll see all of this, or you can see women like this or like that, and then you can see them together, guys. That's how they doing it. That's how they getting down these days. They showing all that skin, all of it. But we're gonna talk about Mandy Rose, like I said. She did an interview. Now she talked about her last match with WWE and her departure, and we know she has not wrestled since then. So this is gonna be about Mandy Rose and her run in WWE, her last match in WWE. And we're gonna see how that goes. So let's get that interview going. And she was on Busted Open Radio a while back about this. And another fun fact too, Mandy Rose also made reportedly $1 million on Fantime lifetime, maybe more than that. So she's also made that too. Just wanted to point that out there. So I'll get that up for you guys in a second.
You knew that it was probably going to be your last match, correct? When last time you went in the ring. So what was going on in your mind knowing that, oh my gosh, like this is going to be the last time I step into a WWE ring?
A lot of mixed feelings. It was a crazy day. And I just had so many mixed feelings. I was kind of making jokes about it, to be honest. I think that's my sense of humor. I get that from my dad. Like, you know, if it's an uncomfortable situation or there's just a lot of media and press going on that day, which there was, I just kind of kept making jokes with the girls. Like, this is it, girls. Like, we've had fun, you know, like, and they didn't believe me and all that. But I just had that feeling, and it was a lot of mixed emotions. I was really happy to pass the torch to Roxanne Perez, who I'm good.
What you mean you think this might be it? You knew that they warned you about the Fantime account and you didn't get rid of folks allegedly and they was going to get rid of you. You knew your time was up. And yes, Roxanne Perez is currently the NXT Women's Champion in her second run, doing a great job. So she took the ball and she ran with it. Let's continue on.
Friends with and became good friends with. So I was really excited for her and to watch her grow, and obviously all the other women that I've been working with so much, but it was really bittersweet. I mean, I think finally when that match was over, you know, I had a standing ovation, and I think kind of the crowd felt it as well, and just with what was going on. And I really felt it in that moment. Like, I felt like this is okay. I know I belong here. I know I've put my hard work into it, but I think just along my journey of like the whole, like, you know, putting respect on my name, and I feel like it took me a while and it took fans a while to kind of get that feeling like I belong here. And I just feel like finally that was a moment where I was like, wow, I think I put the work in, regardless of the outcome right now with what's going on. I think it's been a hell of a run.
And that,
I think.
All right, that is Mandy Rose interview on Busted Open. Talk about her release from WWE, but saying she didn't know, or she didn't think it'd be her last time. She knew that was it. I had feelings my last time. She knew she was terminated, so Niche stopped the cap right there. So I thought when she said that, I knew that was cap. That was straight cap right there. Just cap, and more cap.
That's cap. Totally cap.
Let's see, you guys got sent in the locker room before we move on to the next interview. Let's see. I got her and Lacey on Instagram. Oh, you follow both of them, Kay Foster? Okay. I wish she could come back. No, don't look like Mandy's coming back. You may have to bring this one to Rumble, TBK. Some tell me hold on some more picks. Ah, man, you got me there. This is all I gotta say.
And that is undisputed.
I may actually have to do that. There are some more photos, possibly some exclusive ones, bring to Rumble. XL Pro, salute to you. Thanks for coming out, man. Figure 4 TV said nerves, humor. Weak women do that, mentally weak women. Yeah, her hair long and beautiful. She's probably hotter than Trish. Premium. Yep, you're right. But there's some more about her, because Mandy Rose talks about now she talks about how she pivots to Fantime, and she does this. This is another interview. This is with Renee Paquette. We know she has very interesting interviews. So let's pivot over there and let's see what she has to say about that. She talks about that. Now this is not going to be as long, about the same amount of time as this one. So let me get that going for you guys in a second. So let's get that going. I'm going to get that for you guys in just a second. So let me get that going. Let's see what you guys got to say before we get in. Are you talking about Oral Session Podcast? You mean formerly known as Oral Session, now it's known The Session. And yes, I am talking about that one. Yes. The Figure 4 TV, he knows. Remember, that's how it is. We remember that locker room. That's exactly what we're talking about. You know, Renee, Figure 4 TV, you know Renee is entertaining. So let's see what Miss Mandy Rose got to say to Renee Paquette about pivoting from WWE to Fantime. Let's see what she got to say about that.
How has like the adjustment been? Because it is such a trip to go from doing one thing that is so all-consuming to now not having that. I mean, obviously you were staying very busy, and we'll get into those things, but it does just kind of throw you for a loop.
It does, yes. It is a little weird, not gonna lie, especially, you know, the traveling and just constantly being on camera and being, you know, available at any time. But now it's just, I just feel so free. There's just this like freeing feeling, you know, in a good way that I'm.
In her, she says she feels free. That means she's free to do whatever she wants to, which means resorting herself to being free. Do she mean this kind of free? I think that's what she means. But let's continue on with the interview.
I have all this spare time. I have all these opportunities that I can work on, figure it out. You know, what's my next move, and just spending that quality time with, you know, my fiance, with family. I'm able to go up to New York whenever and see my family. So it's just been nice. And you know, for 7 years, I was obviously very blessed and grateful for everything. The last 7 years being in WWE, but you know, it's just the traveling and the crazy, you know, on call for anything, and it's hard to plan trips. It's hard to plan things, obviously, because you always have to be available. So that's the cool feeling, I'd say.
So it's a cool feeling because I know it. I've been there. I've lived that, but it is also an odd feeling. And maybe it seems like you did handle yourself better than I did, because you kind of just got right into work. You obviously had stuff going on the back burner. You had some stuff to kind of jump into right away. But that feeling of like, oh, what do I do with this free time? Now what do I do with that? Like, I can be a little bit neurotic when it comes to stuff like that. Did you ever have moments of the, what am I doing? Where do I have to be? I don't just have an app to look at that tells me where to be and what I need to do. Did you have like a weird adjustment with that?
Yeah, I definitely know what you mean by that. And I feel like it might not have hit me yet totally, because it's still kind of fresh. And like you said, I am still, you know, kind of busy doing stuff. But there was one day, like last week, I think it was, when I was like, okay, this is a little weird. Like, I got up, I was, you know, enjoying my coffee and just kind of futzing around in my sweat still. And I'm like, this is nice. But I'm like, I have like nothing to do today, like no plans, not like, you know, not even a phone call, nothing. I'm like, this is a little weird. Like, I don't know. And I think it's normal to have those moments, of course. Yeah. But I think it'll hit me a little bit more too as time goes on.
No, it is still so new. I mean, it was middle of December that everything went down, and you were like completely sidelined by this. Come in, find out you're going to be losing the title to Roxanne, and then it was the next day after that. Like, walk me through the whole thing of like what happened for you.
Yeah. So, completely surprised with everything. I went into work like a normal Tuesday for TVs, and you know, I was told that the title match that was supposed to happen down the line, actually I think this weekend,
it was supposed to happen this weekend.
Yeah, well, you know, tentatively tomorrow, I believe, at Vengeance Day was when it was supposed to maybe happen, but that was all up in the air. That's the only, you know, news I got as far as for the future. But so then it was said that we were gonna actually do the match tonight. That was about, I don't know, it was around like 2 o'clock or something when I was told. So you know how that is
Okay, what were you like? What happened when they told you that? You're like, wait, what? Did you go to like creative right away, or like talk to Sean, or like were you like just like wait, have plans just changed, or is something else up right now?
Well, right away, I had the inclination that something was up because I just, and everyone treated me so great at NXT. I had a great relationship with Shawn Michaels, the writers, the producers, everyone. So I was never like kept out of the loop either, being a champion for 413 days. It was obviously like I was in the loop with everything. I didn't really have many surprises like that. So it was very like, whoa, what, did I do something? What's going on? Obviously, I had some inclination because of what was going on social media and what was going on the night before. But it came from Shawn Michaels himself. So obviously I knew it was coming from, head of creative in that sense. So I knew that I didn't really have to go and try to seek other answers, even though I wanted other answers. But at that moment, I had to do my job and get planning, our match and everything else that we had to do that night.
Were you emotional going into that? Just being like, okay, shit's like, you felt like the rug's kind of pulled out from underneath you, just got cut out at the knees. That must have been really difficult to kind of get through that TV day and go through that match and just kind of like focus on the task at hand. All this other shit's going down. Yes. I was like, it was weird. In the moment, I was like, I felt like I was focused, and I always loved working with Roxanne. We had a good relationship, so like that was good, and it actually went smooth the rest of the day. But in my mind, obviously, where I didn't kind of sell it, I didn't show it, I was like, this is so messed up. Like, what is going on? And I had, multiple people coming up to me being like, what is going on, obviously. Oh,
the elephant in the room.
What was Roxanne like all day? Because this was thrown on her as well.
Yeah, I felt bad because I felt bad for Roxanne because she's so amazing, and I really do love her as a person. And I feel like it was so exciting that you're winning anytime getting told you're going to win the title is very exciting. But I just felt bad because I felt like it was rushed. I felt like there was, which it was rushed. There was no promotion leading up to it. She had just won the match as, being the number one contender. So we were going to build on that eventually. Long-term storytelling would, and it would be a really good, feud in that sense. But I felt bad because it was just like thrown on her. And like, I know her like family would come to the shows, her sister I met and stuff. So it's like that she could have had at her family, her family there. So it was just really rushed, and I just felt bad. But she handled it like, a great professional woman that she is, and we just got it done, and she was obviously very happy, and we had a great match. So
okay, so the next day, that's when you get the phone call, they're like, hey.
Yes, the next day, which I was anticipating with how everything went down. I was making jokes about it actually the night before, because
that's
know how
the only way
are.
to get through it. It's the only way
right?
to get through it. Yes.
It's the only way. Like,
yes.
I was literally making jokes about it, and the girls were even like, oh my God, stop, you're crazy. I'm like, no, it's not crazy. But yeah, I got a call, I don't know, around like 11 or something. And you know that 203 number.
Sure do.
When it comes in, it's gonna be either really good or really bad. No.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I obviously being from grew up in New York, I had some family in Connecticut. Like our cousin that's down here right now, who's doing a lot of work at our house, has like a 203 number. So like every time like I do get that, I'm like, ugh, whatever.
You get that jolt of like, oh God,
like,
who's calling me? Where do I need to be? Yeah.
Exactly. So I got that call, and they said what they said. They had to release me because of this situation, but I didn't really get much info. So that was kind of it. And I was actually staying at Indy Hartwell's house, Sam, and because I stay there sometimes, we became really close. And she was upstairs getting ready for TV because I haven't told anyone this story actually, but she was upstairs getting ready because we had to do a double taping that day, and that's why I stayed. And I was like, Indy, I was like, I just got fired, and she's like all the way upstairs. She's like, what? She's like, shut the, like, no way, blah blah blah. And I was like, no, I'm serious. And that like at first you're just like, you kind of like laugh a little bit because you don't know whether you want to laugh or you want to cry.
Yes.
So, and it was like a gut punch, but then I was like, okay, well, now I need to really think about this and, handle this, whatever. But
crazy. Okay, so all those things being said, you go through that emotional roller coaster, and it is that feeling of, okay, now time to deal with business. And you've handled it fucking beautifully. For the month of December, you became a millionaire in a month on Fantime. I think that just kind of like blew everyone's mind, made everybody reconsider their own career choices. Like, wait, what? So great. So obviously you had it in place, which is what led to this, but did you have like a great business team on your side to just kind of like help you figure out, okay, now we're going full-fledged into this and into whatever other business opportunities kind of come your way? Like, how did you kind of handle the business side of things?
Yeah, definitely a good team, which helped. I've been working with first round management out of Miami, and being in WWE for so long, we always it's hard to have like agents and managers and stuff like that. There's so much you can do. So that this one manager, Connor, who's amazing. He was just a hustler and would just try to get me little things here and there, and try to get it approved and see if it works. If not, whatever, keep moving. But Connor and another guy named Fernando, excuse me. They have been working on it, and they know what they're doing when it comes to helping me manage it and all that. So they have been a tremendous help. And obviously when I got that call that I got fired, they found out right away, and they were just on it. Like everyone, I mean, this great publicist, Jen, who I've been working with, just everyone was just like, and like I've talked about this in other interviews too, like my fans were so behind me, and everyone was just like so behind me that like I didn't really have to say anything because they were doing it for me. I just kind of sat back, was taking it in, and then I was just watching those numbers go up on Fantime. I couldn't believe it.
Yes, that is the interview with Mandy Rose with Renee Paquette. That's the interview, and that's the interview of Mandy Rose, the former NXT Women's Champion who held the championship. I thought it was 413 days, excuse me. But yeah, that's her holding that championship. But yeah, that's something else though. Definitely something else. Well, let's see what you guys got to say in the locker room. I know she said, too, that she was surprised that she didn't know this was happening. She kept playing this victim role like nothing was going down. Allegedly, they had warned her that she did not get rid of that Phantom because that's going to release her. So I don't get why she's playing this victim role. That's another issue I have with Mandy Rose regarding the situation. But, that's her opinion on that. That's how she feels. But yeah, she's just that's crazy about it. But it's wild. Let's see what you guys got to say about the whole locker room about it. Man. Figure 4 said this is just sweet toxic mess. Yep. Definitely is. Let's see what you guys else got to say about this whole thing. This girl all over the place. Let's see. You guys have a lot to say. Let's see where we at here. Love Renee, though no cap, pure evil woman. Yep. Yeah, Renee don't do all that. Fantime, you don't catch her doing that. Even sitting next to Mandy Trumpster, I noticed that. Yeah, and Renee seemed kind of a little irritated the way Mandy was talking. If you guys noticed that, Cave said, "Hell yeah, Renee's fire," and he said he's feeling Mandy. I'll smash both, but I'm wifing Renee up, no doubt. She's definitely more of a wife. I like Renee. Not even TBK find a thirst trap photo. Nah. Mostly, I got bikini picture of her though. She a lady. Do you have Renee bathing suit? Yep, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I've seen that. I've seen her bikini. I'll think about this interview. Her eyes are beautiful. She is way more logical than WWE character puts out. She away be the hottest wrestling diva. If you want to see a picture of Renee Paquette, this is her here. This is Renee. If you guys care about Renee. And this is another picture of Miss Renee. But it's nowhere near to the magnitude of Mandy Rose. So that's her interview. She talked about Fantime. She talked how she made $1 million. That's the crazy $1 million. That girl's making bread. She's not coming back. Unfortunately for the fans, she would not be coming back to WWE. Not after making that kind of money. You can forget about it. She ain't doing it. She's not doing it. And she's not doing it. No doubt about it. So it sucks. Then again, that's how she eats. $1 million. Yeah, that's a lot of money. What former wrestler turned doing Phantom Thirst Trapper would do that? Not many. Now we spent a lot of extensive amount of time on Mandy Rose. Let's switch gears and let's move on to Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans is doing an interview with Chris Van Vliet, and she talks about her WWE release. And hers a little bit different story, and I'm going to let you guys hear that. So let's see what she has to say about that. Let's get to Lacey Evans. This is her turn now. Let's see what she has to say in the interview with Chris Van Vliet. Let's get to that. Big 4 TV crazy, man. But yeah, we gonna enjoy. Hit that like button, guys. Exclusive content. But let's do that. We got Lacey Evans with Chris Van Vliet talking after her WWE release and how she feel about that. Let's get into it.
You just want great coffee and people who want to come in and go, I remember you from WWE.
We have that a lot. And, I like my action figures at the cafe. It's not a secret. If anything, it's empowering. It's cool. It's something cool to talk about, right? With my customers. And so, yeah, it's a balance. We have fans that come in all the time. And then we have people that aren't WWE fans that come in and they're like, is that you? And I'm like, yeah. Well, I say, no, it's just this girl that looks a lot like me. It's crazy. And then, we kind of laugh about it and I let them know it is me. And, it's just a good conversation. So yeah, it's fun.
Macey, this is the most unique path I think that someone's taken after leaving WWE, because for most people it's like immediately onto the indies, immediately taking as many bookings as possible. I don't think you've taken any bookings.
No, I have not. I've had a lot obviously reach out, but I did WWE for 7 years, and it was never my passion. I never, that was never a secret. It was incredible to see my fellow, sports entertainers that is their passion. But I just knew that, I went out there, I did the best that I could, I did my job. But I always looked forward to coming home. My family obviously traveled with me everywhere that I went for the most part. And that was a struggle, right? Because when I got signed with WWE, I was a mom and I was a wife. I've been with my husband since I was 15. It was an incredible opportunity. But it was a lot for whenever you compare what your passion is and your whys. And WWE is very, very difficult. You're on the road well over 300 days a year. They want a lot from you. And I just, there was always something in the back of my head that was like, what the fuck am I doing? I like to, when I wake up now and I'm on my way to my cafe and I have, like just last night, we did a big group outreach for, I think it's Nar-Anon. It's for like Alcohol Anonymous, but it's for the families that have family members that struggle with addiction or have lost their lives to overdose, right? So it's just the things that I get to do now and the difference that I get to make, to me, is so rewarding that I never, since August 16th, so a few months, I not once have questioned if I'm doing the right thing or if I'm happy or if this is my why. I haven't. I wake up every day, get my coffee, and I go and I try to change lives and make a difference, including in my own home with my kids and my husband. So it's been awesome.
We'll get back to the conversation in just a second, but as you know, the Royal Rumble is just around the corner. The odds-on favorites, CM Punk at your favorite TV show. Is there any part of you that misses the world of wrestling?
Do you want me to lie? No, there's not. Some people, they wake up and they put on 6-inch stilettos and 10 pounds of makeup and their extensions, and they go walk the red carpet and they feel amazing. I'm not those people. And it was very difficult for me, right? To kind of put on that front. And because like WWE, they do a lot of good stuff for a lot of people, but I just felt like more could be done for my why. Right? So for my passions and mental health and addiction and life struggles and PTSD and all the shit that people have to deal with every day, it's like, why the fuck am I on a red carpet right now? Like, I'm looking out in the crowd and I see people that are fucking hurting and they're taking photos of my shoes. And I'm like, anyway, so, I'm not gonna lie, I miss some of the people, right? Because it is a struggle and we do kind of become a family at some point. But I wanna help. I wanna do more. I wanna fight different battles that aren't in the ring.
Has this always been your passion?
Always.
Helping people with mental health, PTSD, and that's always been something you've had in your heart?
Always. And it is because of my childhood and the shit life and the things that I had to endure growing up. When I got a WWE tryout, if you go back and watch my promo, I said that if you guys hire me, I will do what I can and use this platform to show the world that it doesn't matter where you come from, that you get to decide who you become. And I didn't mean that as in like, as a WWE superstar. I didn't give a fuck about that. It was just as a human being, as a healthy way to manage the shit life that some of us have to struggle with every day. And not everybody's brain is the same. Some people wake up and they are losing before they even take their first sip of coffee, and it's like it's an everyday battle. And what I wanted to do, even in anybody listening, they can go back and watch my promo, and then it got 7 years worth of, and every day I'm questioning, what have I done? What have I done to help people? I mean, I looked good today. I did a great drop down, freaking leapfrog, and I did a moonsault off the top, but what the fuck have I done to help people that are hurting? And don't get me wrong, I'm not shitting on WWE. It's great. They do a lot, and there are people that watch those superstars that get empowered by them, and they help people mentally push through hard days, right? It's kind of their way of watching the show and watching the product and kind of stepping away from the reality of a shitty days, right? But my passion was to really address the shitty days, address your brain and how you respond to it, and help people realize that even without WWE programming or whatever else it is that helps you get through it, maybe you should face it and work on it to where one day you don't need those little band-aids to take on the day or to get through those hard waves that crash in and take you out. So
when you're a kid, when do you realize that things in your home are different than in the homes of your friends or other people that you know? Because I feel like when you grow up and things are a certain way, you just kind of expect, oh, everyone's life must look like this too.
Honestly, it was within the home. It was obvious. It was so obvious that my house was different. The physical abuse, I think, my father's addiction, drug addiction, when I would have to step over his body, because he was high and passed out and laid limp on the recliner, and it's just like having to go to school at such a young age. I was like, there's no way in hell that people are like stepping over their parents, or And then the domestic violence. It was like the fights and the hits and the hair pulling, and I'd go to school and then obviously like my clothes, right? I'm like the roaches crawling out of my backpack because of my living conditions as a kid. It's like, there's no way, like nobody else has roaches crawling out of their stuff. Nobody else looks exhausted from, you know, having to be ripped out of bed to find my father's remote at 1 a.m. because he's pissed off and on one of his, you know, and I was very aware of my sadness and how tired I was of that lifestyle. And I'd look around and, you know, people seemed so happy. The people in my class, they were happy. And a lot of people hide it different, you know, but I just knew I wasn't stupid.
What is it that you're doing now to help people in that position that you were in so many years ago?
For one, taking, when you called, the first thing I thought of was like, fuck, you know, I gotta go talk about wrestling, you know, but I knew, and just like I assumed, the first thing, Chris, that you asked me was, what do you want to talk about? And I'm good with talking about WWE and backstage and all the tea and the whatever it is, I'm down to talk about it. But and I said, if we could just talk about mental health and being positive in a world full of fucking negative, you said absolutely. And so for one, that I do seminars and I bring that back to the cafe and in my community. I just got back from New Jersey where I learned about childhood trauma, the damage that it has on the adult brain, and how to use that to your advantage, and how to just kind of reprogram your brain to be resilient. It's Resilient Minds on the Front Lines. It's called the program, where I'm going to be a facilitator to spread the word and to teach tools that you could put in your toolbox for when those waves crash in and knock your ass out, that you could pull them out and use them. And then obviously I opened up my mental health cafe where we use color therapy, scent therapy, events. We highlight small businesses, entrepreneurs, and we talk about being fucked up. And we talk about it in a way that's not taboo, because everybody, I don't care if you had roaches in your backpack or you were going through shit in life as a child, or if you're a grown-ass adult that's lost your kids or are struggling with addiction, everybody has rough days. And I am so blessed that I have a brick and mortar location, that it is open and out there, that if you are hurting, if you are down and out and you just need somewhere to go that understands it, that accepts it, that acknowledges it, and can talk about it in a way that's not taboo, right? That's not like frowned upon. I think that's really cool that I got to create a place that people can just come to and kind of support each other.
I think it's really cool, the name too. These are your daughter's names, right?
They are, yes.
Tell me about cell phone jail when we go to the Sunny Summers Cafe. Yeah,
so I have a cell phone jail program that if you know, any families or groups or even couples, marriage is 50, we have a 50% divorce rate on marriages right now in America, and that does not include military, which is well above 70%. Just little things like that in life, right, that I wanted to highlight and make known, like that fucking sucks, that's shitty. And not that my cell phone jail is gonna help your marriage, but damn it, at least it'll help that day. At least it'll help that coffee that you sit across from your spouse, and put that away, because the impact that cell phones have on, so childhood suicide is 3 times the rate that it's ever been. And it has a lot to do with this. It has a lot to do with social media, with technology, with kind of, and we could go on a rabbit hole about all that and the impact that cell phones have on families, on parents, on children, on bullying, on suicide, the whole 9. Come to the cafe if you want to talk about that, or if you have a child out there struggling with that, I'll come and sit down with them myself and try to help, right? So.
Okay, this is getting crazy. Some of the stuff she's saying, I feel like there's a lot more to it, and let's skip before it goes even further. But first, I gotta say, some of the stuff she's saying was straight cap.
That's cap. Totally cap.
TV figure 4, he said TVK needs open night. Yeah, she definitely do, because she got all these issues and she ain't fixing her own issues, and she definitely gets an open mic night.
Who the hell told you
Yeah, Lacey, you is. Oh man, I'm gonna say the rest of what I gotta say, but I just let's talk about her fan time subscription page. Let's be honest. This is what we all came in for. We could talk about her Southern Belle gimmick. We'll talk about that, and we'll talk about the fan time.
With your background as a Marine, it feels like that would have been the obvious choice for your gimmick originally in WWE. Why was it the sassy Southern Belle to begin with?
I don't know. When you find that out, you gonna call me, Chris, and fucking let me know. No, I remember in NXT when we were going over like character ideas, never once would I have imagined that I'd put on a tutu and start twirling around and being like sassy Southern Belle. Like, I am from the South. I can bake a pie just as good as I could fire a weapon. I love being beautiful and feminine. Check out my fan time. I'm a sexy motherfucker.
Don't get into that.
But
y'all hear this crap, man? This woman's not humble at all. Now, normally I don't stop it this many times, but I gotta do something. This is ridiculous. She don't appreciate that she had an opportunity to do what a lot of people don't be afforded the opportunity to do, and that's be working at WWE, the #1 wrestling promotion in the world, and to do it for 7 years. Yeah, she don't appreciate nothing. Let's get to the fan time. She really pissing me off right now. She don't even appreciate the Southern Belle game. So I say, "Oh, you let me know." Yeah, she got the entitlement spirit in her, which I do not like. Let's get to the fan time. I feel like I want to be done with her.
And this is so much of what you're doing on fan time. So if we go to limitlessmacy.com, what happens?
A lot of stuff you can't talk about.
Oh.
No, it's just
And this is so much of what you're doing.
Man, I got to kind of do that as a grown woman and get paid for it, and because I missed that in my childhood. I missed that whole section of getting to learn how to put on makeup and learn how to be pretty and learn. And so for years, I honestly played dress up and was a smartass. It was great.
And this is so much of what you're doing on fan time. So if we go to limitlessmacy.com, what happens?
A lot of stuff you can't talk about.
Oh.
No, it's just I've never felt more pretty in my life. You know, I'm a mom of 2. I never imagined that I would have a fan time. But I'm not gonna lie to you, it's been probably one of the
That's cap. Totally cap.
You know that you planned on this. You know what you was doing. You know exactly what you was doing.
I didn't know that. Know what you did. I know what you're talking about. I swear and swear. You know what you're a legend, man.
You know exactly what you was doing, Lacey. You need to stop it. Let's continue on.
Funnest things me and my husband have done. It's for adults. You have to be a grown person to even access it. So it's not like it's out there for, kids to see, which I love, but doing what I want to do. Even if I didn't make the money that I'm making, like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm having fun doing it. I've never felt as pretty as I do now, which is weird. But no, it's a lot, and I love it. And so do my fans.
And your husband was on board from the beginning?
Oh man. Well, not from the beginning. It was actually, so when we were discussing it in WWE, obviously you're not allowed to do that. I was like, man, that would be fun. Just like playing dress up in ways that, like, and he was like, well, yeah. I said, well, what if we do it together? Like, fuck it. What if it's something? And we talked about it, and he's like, let's do it. And next thing you know, like, we get excited. It's like, man, he's picking out outfits, and I'm like, hell yeah, fucking, that looks great. And then we're doing photo shoots and having a good time, and then what goes on after the photo shoots is different. But I can tell you right now, my marriage has never been, my love life has never been spicier. And yeah, I'm 33. I'm doing whatever the hell I want, and I'm looking good doing it. And my husband is game.
I feel like you guys are gonna have another baby on the way with the way you're talking here.
I won't complain.
Do you remember on the show to the moon. You've got the biggest, opportunity of your career coming up. Talk me through both emotions, personally and professionally here.
So yeah, I think that when I said at the beginning of this interview, WWE's hard. We're on the road, and as women, not to be biased, it's harder, especially if you want to be a mother, especially if you want to be a wife, because as you know, sport, you can't be pregnant and looking that way. You can't be pregnant and wrestling. So you really have to make some long-term decisions in life. And one thing I will not do is freeze my eggs for a career. Now, if you do, that's great. That's all on you. But whatever eggs God's give me, I'm not freezing them, and I'm gonna do what I have to do to, if I want to be a mom. And that was one of our options as women in sports entertainment is, well, if you can't reproduce now, there's other science options that you could hold off and chase your dream and chase the money and chase the fame and the fortune. But
they
that was
gave you
never
the opportunity to freeze your eggs if you wanted
no,
to?
that has nothing to do with W. I'm just saying as a woman, right? So scientifically, if a woman, just can't have a baby right now because she's chasing the fame and the fortune, and it's just not something that she wants, she can, we have options. I'm not doing that. And also women have a certain time frame in their life that's what doctors deem healthy to have babies, and we can all go into that. But that was never in my cards. I would never do that. And I've always wanted to be a mom. Unlike a lot of women, I've been with my husband since I was 15. We got married at 19, and since 16 years old, we've been picking out our kids' names. We've always wanted to be a mom and a dad. Summer's name was picked out when I was 16. Sonny's name not too long after. So
16 years old picking out baby names. Wow, okay. That's not normal. Let's continue.
When I was in WWE, and I'm looking around at what I thought my life would be, and not only the difference that I could make in people's lives, but it's man, I'm really giving my husband the shitty end of the stick here. He loves me and he supports me to the fullest, but where are all of our babies at? Where is all the little sound of feet on our hardwood floors and the smell of bacon in the morning? And instead we're on a plane at 3:30 in the morning heading out to, I just was man. So I went to Vince and I said, hey sir, I'm not being used, and I want to have a baby. So I won't. If you plan on using me, I'll stand by. I said, it's COVID. It's I'm not being used, and it's COVID. And he kind of got quiet and he said, go have a baby. And I said, are you sure? I made sure, because that man he's fucking awesome. He has done a lot for me and my family. And I was just very thankful to be in that room, having that discussion and having that opportunity in WWE, right? Life-changing money, blah, blah, blah. And in a cool experience. So when he said, go have a baby, I said, are you sure? I could wait. It's not like I'm waiting 10 years. You tell me. He's like, no, go have a baby. Just promise me you'll come back. And I said, I'll be back 6 weeks after I push this motherfucker out. If I could just go at least give my husband one more quickly. So I, and that was the game plan. I wasn't being used. And next thing you know, creatives, oh, you're going to be with, Ric Flair and Charlotte. And I'm like, what the fuck? It was wild, but me being the motivator I am, I'll show up, I'll do the best and keep rocking and rolling. Well, I'll be damned if a week before I was supposed to get the title, I have my baby. And it was the best feeling in the world. That my husband has another child that he's about to hold in his arms in 9 months, and nobody could take, so a lot of people saying I ruined my career and this and that, but this morning when I woke up and saw that little shit looking at me with a big smile on her face, and my husband waking up and straight, you can't tell me I ruined anything. I got exactly what I wanted, and I'm very thankful and blessed that I have the life that I have.
What was the original plan with you and Ric Flair being paired together?
It was typical heel and to go after the title.
W or TNA?
Yeah, absolutely. As long as I never
WWE or maybe
night.
So you said you don't miss the world of wrestling, but do you think there's ever a point where maybe it's 6 months or a year or longer from now, do you think you'd ever want to go back, whether that's WWE or maybe an opportunity in AEW or TNA?
Yeah, absolutely. As long as I never lose. I only have one life. We only have one shot at this life. We only have one chance to do what it is that we really want to do and make a difference that we want to make. Some people don't want to make a difference. They're good with the red carpets and the Gucci bags and whatever. But yeah, hell yeah, I love the hitting, the hard hitting, the action, the tables, the chairs. I loved it. I had no idea how to do any of that before I stepped foot in WWE, and I grabbed the ropes and fucking kept going. But I will never allow myself to lose 7 years. That is 52 weeks a year times 7. I will never lose 7 days like that again without waking up every day knowing that what I'm doing is what is making the difference and the impact and the life that I want to make as a mother, as a wife, as a human being, as somebody who struggles with mental health. So yeah, as long as I know that part is good, then I'll go and kick anybody's ass or get my ass kicked anytime they call me. Like I do have an event coming up that we're working on.
All right, locker room, this is enough. It's to the point now, after hearing all this, I feel like Hulk Hogan.
No, brother, it doesn't work for me right now.
This doesn't work for me anymore. But this is the end of the interview. Lacey Evans, you are one ungrateful, entitled, selfish, self-conceited person I've seen. And I like Lacey Evans. I liked her little finisher that she was doing.
Oh, nice.
But after hearing this interview, I'm done. I see why things went the way they went with her. I see why she did not get the Money in the Bank contract back in 2022. I see why they wanted to move forward and go in another different direction with Liv Morgan and not you, because you are not, and I repeat, not dedicated to wrestling business. You don't care, and you feel like you're supposed to get your way all the time. And with that being said, you just don't deserve it. You don't deserve anything because you are so freaking entitled. You don't deserve anything. Not one thing at all, for that matter. Not one thing. You don't deserve anything. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
You actually think you deserve a shot at this? You don't deserve buddy.
Yeah, I don't like Lacey Evans. Now, people can say they want about Mandy Rose. You can say what you want about her. Mandy Rose, like I said, Mandy Rose is not the best professional women's wrestler, but she did improve when she returned to NXT and became the NXT Women's Championship she held for 413 days before her release. But Lacey Evans, on the other hand, you ain't done anything. You ain't done anything. And I see why WWE said let her go. And Vince, and what she didn't realize, she was being tested. When Vince McMahon said, when you told him, I want to have a baby, what you gonna do to me? They had plans for you, Lacey. And since you pulled that go have a baby, that was it from there. Whenever he told you had that second baby, you were done. And then nothing about Lacey I didn't like. Like, who do you think you are? You say you was never dedicated to the wrestling business. Why be there for 7 years if that was never your passion? You said that you always want to be your wife and mother. You said that you was picking up baby names when you were 16. You switched up to you were 15. Like, why get into the wrestling business knowing you're going to be on the road 300 days a year? Why waste your time in WWE's time? That was just flat out stupid.
Kingston jaw and face planted.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. And let's be honest, we know why you got to WWE. You wanted attention. You wanted to gain a fan base so you could go off and do what you're doing now, which is pretty much this. This is what you really want to do the whole entire time. With your little masculine self up there yelling, saying, how you call your baby a little, in her words, a little shit? How do you call your baby that? You heard her say that? Oh, I'm happy for that MF. But look how she talks so masculine. I guess that Marine Corps background got to talking like that. I mean, and then like you said, you're 33. I thought you was in your 40s. I thought you was already 40. I mean, you look a rough 33. Let's be honest here. That is not a prediction. That is definitely a spoiler. I mean, it's definitely a spoiler.
And that's not a prediction. That's a spoiler.
Yeah, let's see what you guys got to say in the locker room. He still haven't changed. Bring back Mandy. She knows what she did. Kick the female Casper to the side. You guys crazy. That's why she's so masculine, looks so hard. Mandy looked so hard in the face. No, she didn't. Mandy was actually feminine and actually cared about wrestling. 33, 45. Yeah, she looked like at least 40. She looked casket ready with that powder on her face. Oh, snap, we getting a casket match. Yeah, that's nothing. She had all that trauma. Her roses come out her bag. Her dad was an alcoholic, stepping over him. And you're trying to help people. You need to help yourself first, Miss Lacey Evans. You need to help yourself. That's why you go out here thirst trapping. It explains a lot of your behavior. Don't even care about wrestling. That's why you put the light. Yep, you're right. That's why I put the title on Liv Morgan. There you go. Definitely delusional. Yeah, guys, this was crazy, but the main folks here was these women wrestlers. They were wrestler. One was released, which was Mandy Rose, and Lacey Evans. When her contract expired, she did not want to renew it. I'm pretty sure WWE didn't want to renew it either. After dealing with her and that arrogant attitude she got, masculine attitude, but at the end of the day. Neither one's still wrestling, and they thirst trapping now. These are wives, and Lacey's a mother. That makes it much more worse. But to each his own. And that's actually all I have regarding why Amanda and Mandy were rather stripped than wrestle. So this has been a little long at the locker room. We are an hour and a half in. So it's crazy, guys. You guys in the live chat right now, also on the playback, let me know what you think of both Mandy Rose and Lacey Evans, who both were former wrestlers, and they decided to go from wrestling to thirst trapping. And like I said, good moves here. Even Mandy, let's share how she wanted her NXT Women's title.
There's no disqualification. It's legal. Goes in the cover. The count. We have a new champion.
So great talent for Mandy Rose. Lacey Evans, not so much. You don't care about nothing. Great finisher, but overall attitude was terrible. So you guys check that out. Let me know what do you think of why Amanda and Macey rather stripped and wrestle. Talking about Mandy Rose and Lacey Evans. So I appreciate you guys coming out tonight, the locker room. Soon two videos will pop up. One will be when Hulk Hogan exposes NJPW, New Japan Pro Wrestling. The next video will be will Samantha stay with WWE or leave with her fiance. Thank you guys again. And until then, it is OUT.